There go the name right there. The blackout.
We live.
All right. Courtesy of BAWLsports.com, Stitcher.com, iTunes, where you subscribe to this lovely, wonderful podcast for free. Tune in media for your mobile devices and Google Play Podcast. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to the show that we so lovingly call BAWL on Bulls. The show totally, utterly, and forever dedicated to the Chicago Bulls and NBA talk. I am Big Dave.
I am C-Dub.
What is up?
Dude, you are hyped.
I'm hyped, son.
Hyped.
I'm excited because I know who's on the show.
Oh, wow.
That's why I'm hyped. I know who's here.
Who's there? Who's that?
I know who's here.
That bum in the background?
That cat, man, I got, bro. That man, from according to sources from the ETMF podcast, sir.
What's going on?
I got Dre. What's happening?
Man, man. Ignoring these Chicago Bulls and feeling good about my life, you know.
Now, before we started the show, you were ready to go on in on these Bulls and talk about how you've given up on this team. Like, do you just mean for the season, right?
Yeah, just for the season. But before we start, Sean from the ETMF podcast wanted me to ask you how that prediction was going. He's a hater. You know,
before you even get in there, I'm so glad you said this.
What's the prediction?
No, hold on, wait a minute. Before he gets into that,
okay.
I'm so glad you said that. Because that right there was not supposed to be my first question. My first question was, is he the one that's always messing with me about Rondo on Twitter?
that would be Sean.
Okay, well, because I have not heard from him lately. It seems that his Twitter feed is not coming out.
Are you saying it's coinciding with Rondo getting more tick on the Bulls?
I don't know what it is. I don't know. I have no idea.
Thus, equally, him not hitting you up on Twitter anymore.
It might be.
Maybe a coincidence going Deco thing.
Maybe because he played his way back into the starting rotation. You know, maybe because teams actually started to look. They still losing, but they started looking like a team a little bit when you had the actual point guard running. Maybe because Rondo in the month of March is like third or fourth in the league in 3-point percentage. I don't know.
It's not me that's doing the talking, but I will say this. Rondo is playing better, but he's still a net negative.
But I'm just saying, I haven't heard anything from him. I miss him.
If you're gonna go down and talk about the bad times, you gotta be there. Saying, you gotta be present.
It got to the point, Chris, where
you gotta be present
I was just sending him gifs, Chris. I was just sending him gifs of pictures of Rondo. He was like, you know what, man? I'm about sick of you. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna leave you alone, man. I said, I'm gonna leave it alone because then Rondo's been balling. And Dre, like you're right, Dre, he's been playing better. And you're saying he's still a negative. I understand that. But y'all were talking to me like, this dude can't even play basketball in the NBA anymore.
Don't say y'all. Because
you're right.
You know what? I rarely ever say anything from the ETMF podcast Twitter account. If I do,
you're right.
I put my handle down to let everyone know this is not me talking this shit. This is definitely Sean talking right now. So you direct all of your hate mail
to my man him. Sean. Just say I miss him, man. Just hit your boy up, man. Let me know you around. Let me know you're alive, sir.
While we're doing this podcast, I will send him a text and let him know.
Dave misses you.
Tell him I miss you, man. Tell him I miss talking Rondo with him. That boy, he just quit hitting me. That's all I'm saying. It just APB went out, Chris. I mean, he just disappeared for the face of earth. I couldn't understand it. I was like, how come I'm not getting no more tweets about the trashiness of Rajon? Oh, was it because he just threw that ill assist right there? Was it because he had 22 points the other day? I don't know what it was. It's because he leaves the team in 3-point shooting. Is that what it is?
That we did in Sacramento too, right?
I don't know. It's just shocking. It is shocking to me that his hand got cramped up. It had to be arthritis. I know that's what it is. It's arthritis, man. I'll just tell him I hope he gets better, and I hope his hands feel better.
I'll let him know. I sent him a text, and I think he's already responding.
Man, dog. I love y'all podcasts. Let me just say that. I absolutely love y'all podcasts, bro. I really do. I enjoy all of y'all, bro. And that's why see, I like that. I like the fact I can just mess with people, you know what I'm saying? Because they know where it's coming from. And he messed with me. And it's all good. You know what I'm saying?
All you do is talk. Talk. Let's get on my damn notes.
Okay, but what were you trying to ask me, sir? You were about to ask a question, though.
I can't even remember what question I was going to ask, but I mean, okay.
Because you were saying something about your podcast. You wanted to talk about. Because I wanted to ask you about the Bulls. You wanted to go in about the blacking out of the Bulls, sir, and how you just quit on this team.
Yeah, I'm done. I mean, I think I said that last podcast. I'm out of it. I mean, it's over. I'm done with that.
So are you saying you're not going to watch the Bulls anymore, or are you just mentally checked out?
No, I'm not watching another game this season. It's over.
That's the blackout. Okay.
That's the blackout.
Okay, so if they squeak into the playoffs somehow,
I'm still not watching the Chicago Bulls.
Okay.
I mean, the only way I will watch another Chicago Bulls game this season is if they make it to the NBA Finals. I'm done. I won't even
buy tickets.
Game seven in the second round. You're not watching.
No, because I don't want this team to let me down.
Yeah,
like how do you lose?
They're going to.
You beat the Detroit Pistons. They're not a good team, not by any stretch of the imagination, right?
Right.
But they're better than the Philadelphia 76ers, right? They're better than them. So one night you go and beat the Detroit Pistons, and the next night you lose by 13 or whatever it was to the 76ers. Dario, did you guys watch the game?
Ginobili.
What he did to the Chicago Bulls. I'm about to get real nerdy right now. I'm about to get nerdy. Now, back in the old days, when the Incredible Hulk would get into a fight with the Thing, his eyes would get big because he knew he had a W coming easy. It's an easy W.
Yeah.
That's how Dario was looking anytime Bobby Portis was on him. That's how he was looking anytime Nico was on him. Like, he's literally everything we wanted Nico to be. And it pisses me off watching him destroy Nico when we thought that's what Nico was going to be. Nico's nowhere near as good as that kid, man. And it pisses me off.
No, he's not.
Pisses me off.
Nico is an atrocity.
See, he's supposed to be Gallinari on the Denver Nuggets. Supposed to be him.
He's supposed to be him.
Like I said last time.
Kevin Love. He's supposed to be Kevin Love.
Yep, it's supposed to be Mini Dirk. You know what I'm saying? Supposed to be all that. And what was frustrating is now we're at a point where, like, can't you just be Paul Zipser?
No, like, he can't. He can't even be Laverne.
He can't even be Laverne.
Wow.
He can't even be King Joffrey.
He can't even he got set one game for Laverne, didn't he? I didn't watch the game. I just read.
He did.
Okay. I just read.
It was a gray out. He read it. He didn't read it.
The gray out.
I read the cliff notes.
Yeah.
Right.
Is this the most disappointed you've been in the Bulls team since your time watching them?
No, not really. I think the last Thibodeau season was the most disappointing I've been in the Bulls because I had never seen that group of guys give up before.
Thank you.
Yes.
And, they gave up.
Yep.
That game 6 against
Cleveland.
And that's the most disappointed I've been in Chicago Bulls. I mean, I've been through a whole bunch of bad teams with the Bulls. You know, Cornell David, Khalid El Amin. You know, I've been around for a long time watching Chicago Bulls be bad at basketball.
Yes.
So I'm used to that, but I was not used to that team giving up because I watched them grind for so long and be so good for so long. To watch them just fall apart and just say, hey, screw it, we don't care anymore. You know, that disappointed me more than anything else.
Yeah, we talked about that here on this show when we were doing it. It was the first time in my years of ever watching the Chicago Bulls I had ever seen a Bulls team quit.
Well, in general, I had never seen an NBA team like that quit like that.
Now, see, you kept saying that. I said I had seen teams
quit, but not literally like they literally looked like it was so obvious. It's more
because they could have won that game.
Yeah,
it just seems so obvious that they gave up.
They gave up. Yeah, that's the most disappointed I've ever been. This team, I didn't care about this team from the beginning of the season. I said
that's true.
When they signed Dwayne Wade, I said on one of our podcasts, this team could go one of two ways. It can be a really, really good team, or it could be a really, really bad team. There's no in between with them. They're not going to be mediocre because they're not even. They're not that. They're not average. They're not
Right.
even like right below average. They're a really bad basketball team right now.
Yes.
So, I mean, it was only one of two ways it could go. So that's why I didn't get my hopes up for it. I knew what it was. You know, you have a team full of guys that can't shoot. You got a second-year coach who they probably don't want to listen to because, as of right now, he isn't a really good basketball coach in the NBA. You have a lack of talent. There's a myriad of issues that's going on with the Chicago Bulls coming into the season. And then they slapped the dumbass title to it with this 3 alphas garbage. That was the last draw. I'm like, yeah, this shit's about to fail. Yep.
Yeah. It's frustrating, and you're right because about them not listening to Fred. Because this is the other point I wanted to talk about Jimmy Butler a little later. But I was watching them. God, who was it? It was Toronto. I think it was that Toronto game. And on the sideline, and there's video of it. I liked it, so you can go look at it. You see him telling Randy Brown. He keeps saying like, "Y'all don't want to listen to me. Y'all don't want to listen to me. Y'all got the answers." Like he kept saying that to him, man. And I'm looking like this. They clearly have no respect. You know what I'm saying for the coach or anything because Jimmy's done that a few times this year.
I have a question generally about. I question their coaches in general.
Yeah,
this is the coaches aren't like the NBA greatest in the world. No, like no disrespect to Randy Brown,
all disrespect,
P. Myers. But like, I don't think like, well, I need assistant coaches for my team. I'm gonna hire Randy Brown and Pete Myers.
But he didn't hire him though.
Right?
Yeah, that's
the first problem. He didn't hire him, and I've heard stories about Randy Brown.
That's
man.
what it was.
Man, I've heard some stuff. I'm not about to. Maybe I'll talk about it when we get off the air because I don't want to say anything bad about that man on airwaves. But I've heard things about Randy Brown. But my problem is this: Pete Myers has been around since Bill Cartwright. Why the fuck they keep? I'm sorry. Why do they keep letting? Why is Pete Myers still around? Why is it like some like this is a necessity? If you want to coach here, you gotta have Pete Myers on your staff. It's just the way it goes. Pete's gonna be here. I don't understand that. And Randy Brown has been shifted up and down the front office so many times. I don't know why he's still around. If I'm the coach that coming into the Chicago Bulls organization, I'm gonna tell them, look, I'm hiring whoever the hell I want to hire. You are not going to tell me that Randy Brown and Pete Myers have to be my assistant coaches. Hell no.
Because there's nothing, and it's also nothing to say on their resume to be like, you know what, this is why these guys should stick around. Because they've been on championship coaching staffs and they've led tons of teams to the playoffs and stuff like that. No, it's not like they were Ron Adams and they fired Ron Adams. You know what I'm saying?
Fired the hell out of Ron.
He didn't do nothing but go and win. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So yeah, I totally get your point on that. Now I don't know what pictures of John Paxson Pete Myers has.
He has something.
I don't know. He got something, man. I mean, he got some incriminating photos that we just ain't seen yet. And I mean, I don't know, man. But Pete Myers, yeah, he's still around. It doesn't make any sense to me. Pete is around, Randy around, and Fred. I'm telling you, Fred is going to be here for as long as he's going to be here for the long haul.
If he's here for the long haul, why can't he hire his own staff?
They told him this is the staff he's supposed to have.
You gonna take what we give you, and that's it.
That's right. It's like prison out here. You gonna take this.
I do know Randy wants to be a head coach. I do know that. His brother came to the barbershop around here.
Randy Brown's brother?
Yeah, did I tell you that?
Oh, you did tell me.
Yeah. He didn't give out too much stuff.
Randy Brown wants to be a head coach. That's funny.
Spying on the team, huh? All right.
Yeah, he said he was like, I don't know, but he's not spying on teams. That's what he said. He ain't doing that kind of stuff. He ain't like that. And I was like,
okay, brother.
Like, okay.
I'm about to leave this barbershop right now. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't even feel uncomfortable. They only cut one side of your beard, Dave. It don't matter.
I'm out of here.
It's the new look. The kids are rolling with this look right now. It's the new look right here.
So,
man, I wanted to go ahead, man.
So we all realize that Jimmy doesn't respect anybody on this coaching staff, right?
Yes.
We understand that. So why keep Jimmy around if you plan on keeping Fred around?
That is exactly the point I had, sir. That is exactly the point I had. I am now on the bandwagon to trade Jimmy Butler for that reason.
We never were against trading Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, I wanted to keep him when the season started, and people were I said that I wanted to keep Jimmy Butler, and I wanted to keep him because I didn't see why you would trade a guy who's like averaging 25 points a game, who I felt at the time you could actually build around.
Well, I think. Well, I hate to go in your head and tell you what you said or thought, but I remember like for the show we talked about the James Vane trade, all that kind of stuff. I think we were willing to trade.
Yeah, we would have traded him then.
Yeah, just don't get rid of him for BS.
Yeah,
but yeah, obviously, you kind of want what you want Jim Butler in your team.
Yeah,
but if you're gonna get rid of him, get something really
awesome for him. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, but this is not like a love train with Jimmy Butler. Well, like he can't be traded.
Untradeable. No, he wasn't untradeable. I just didn't want to trade him. I didn't want to. Now I'm like, he can go.
Especially the day Wade came aboard, right? Because Wade never came and Jimmy Butler was.
Yeah, exactly. I thought he was going to bring people in.
We don't even want Dwayne Wade anymore. Like it was the end of his season was so apropos. It's like, and then like you could tell he was like, oh really? Oh okay. I'm sorry. I'm really upset.
So happy about
I'm so upset that I can't play basketball for the Bulls anymore. Oh no. Getting goddamn well. He didn't care. He was more than happy with not playing another game with the Chicago Bulls. Out here's going to be the interesting thing.
That was the best suit I saw him in all.
That suit was like, I'm leaving the city in like 2 minutes,
immediately, and I'm never coming back. But $24 million. If he leaves, $24 million. The Chicago Bulls need to fire their front office immediately. Nobody does that. Nobody's giving him that money. He's not getting $24 million from nobody else. And he was just like, I don't care. I want to get away from this team. And that's all that matters.
That's a great point.
We're going to see if that happens.
Who hates a team that much? Who hates playing basketball for a team that much that they would pass up $24 million? Who?
I mean, apparently him. Sean said he hasn't watched a game since All-Star break.
Well, then that would explain why I ain't got no call. Because guess who took off after the All-Star break? Okay, that makes sense then. That makes sense why I ain't heard from him. That makes sense. But getting back to Jimmy, man. I mean, the stuff I was talking about this with ESPN, Chris, and I was telling him I'm on the bandwagon. I want Jimmy going not because of what I see him do on the court, because he has to play that way. It's the stuff like that when you don't respect your coaches. Like he had a play, I can't remember what game, but he had a play where he was coming down the court and he's standing at the top of the key and Bobby Portis made the wrong cut. Like I watched him make the wrong cut and he stops. Jimmy stops. There's like seconds ticking away in the fourth.
Yeah.
He stops and turns around and looks at Fred just to do that. Stopped and turned around and grilled him and was doing like this. Like, what is this dude doing? Well, the dude defending him could have easily just went and took the ball from him while he did that. You know what I'm saying?
Was that this year where he cursed at Fred, like, what the F you doing or something like that? Or he called Fred for a play?
He said, oh, man, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. I think that was this year.
Yeah, he was telling him to call a play. That was just like a couple games.
Call timeout. He was telling him to call timeout.
Yeah, and he was like, no. He's like, I'm not calling a timeout. Like, what?
Right.
He's your coach.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
You don't have to agree with everything that your coach is telling you. You don't have to agree with that. But what you are going to do is follow his directions. Like, you don't know everything. And that's one of my biggest issues with Jimmy, is that it feels like he believes he knows everything about everything and he's always right. And his decision making is more clear and precise than everyone else's. And if your best player isn't going to respect your coach, you have a problem. And it's like the Bulls front office, it doesn't seem like they give a damn about stuff like that. Like, okay, Jimmy Butler doesn't care that Fred Hoiberg is the coach. Well, you should care that Jimmy Butler doesn't care that Fred Hoiberg is the coach. And if you don't, then you need to get rid of Fred Hoiberg. And I can do that either because,
because that's their boy. It's my boy, Blue. You're my boy. They're not getting rid of him, man. And that is my main reasoning of Jimmy Butler. It's not his play. It's that other stuff. It's those intangibles, man. Like, you can't be that kind of guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially even in the offense that the Bulls want to run. I don't even think he's a great fit for that. You know what I'm saying? A team that needs to move the ball and all that. Jimmy ain't about that life.
Now, did you hear John Paxson?
What he
talking about how they were going to build a team around the offense that Fred wants to run? Oh, really?
Word?
You don't say.
Straight up.
How about you try that from the beginning?
I thought they said that 3 years ago.
Shoot, they did. That's why we're all sitting here and waiting to see if they're actually going to do it. They need to just go ahead and tank.
I don't think they're watching the game. They traded for pain. Like to me, if you trade for pain, that means you were not watching the NBA.
Because that guy is not an NBA basketball player, and I hesitate to say he's even a college basketball player.
He's an atrocity. That's ridiculous. Did you see? I just showed Chris a clip that pretty much summed up the Bulls season for me, and it was the Philly game, the last game.
I know what.
While the play, you saw it while the play is going on. While stuff is going on, guess who decides to work on their dance moves while the game is happening? Cameron Payne. Hey, bro, look at this dab right here. Him and Merle doing handshakes, dabbing.
And they're just over there laughing and joking.
Having a good time.
Are you kidding me with this shit?
The coach does nothing. Nobody on the coaching staff said, go sit your ass down.
I don't know about you, Dave, you, Dre, but when you get a new job, generally you try to make an impression on your new employers, right? You don't go in there taking long lunch breaks. Right, so generally, you don't sit around and go to cubicles and talk to people for half an hour. You try to be the best employee you can be. These dudes ain't been on the team for a month.
Maybe this is how you make an impression on the Chicago Bulls team. Maybe this is it. You dab,
that's the problem.
You Millie Rock and whatever other dance move campaign is out there.
What happened? Block. Derrick Rose lost the dance competition, so you had to get traded.
Wait, your knees gone? That means you can't hit the flow no more, D Rose? Oh no.
You gotta go.
You can't hit that step no more, D Rose?
We're gonna keep the boy from Tom Ball and get rid of you, D Rose. Right. Speaking of Tom Ball, this is one of the things that pisses me off about Jimmy Butler.
I know what you were about to say too. Go ahead.
That he has all the time. So, like one of the beat writers asked him a question about his hand, because he's supposed to be playing with torn ligaments in his hand. And he says, I'm going to be all right. I'm from Tomball. What the hell does that mean, Jimmy? What the hell are you talking about? Is your hand hurting or not? What? Like that kind of garbage nonsense. Like, dude, just answer a question. What the hell is wrong with Jimmy? Like, I don't even know. Like, I would have looked at him like, what the hell does that mean? I would have asked him, Jimmy, what the hell does that mean? For the people in the back that may not know, what does I'm from Tomball actually mean? Just start off some nonsense cliche. Like, okay, I'm from Chicago, Illinois. Like, what?
Right. You know what I mean?
That doesn't mean I don't feel pain. What the hell? I cannot stand Jimmy sometimes, man. I can't.
But he said it like there's a respect behind that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can say that, like, if you're like, hey man, I'm from Brooklyn. Hey man, I'm from the Chi. Hey man, you know what I'm saying? Hey man, I'm from South Central or wherever. But when you saying stuff like, hey man, I'm from Tomball, like, okay.
If you showed me a map where there was nothing but Tomball on it, I still couldn't find that goddamn place. That was Jimmy talking about.
It said Tomball's here. Like, I don't know where it is.
I have no idea.
I just drove around it like 4 times. I swear, man, I don't see it.
Sorry,
I don't see it. It's right here.
Google can't even find it.
Like we don't even have a Google car to go out.
Sorry, no results found.
I asked Siri, and she was like, "Nigga, I don't know." What?
Okay, Google, where's Tomball? What the hell? I'm just a computer. Oh my god! But yeah, man, it's those kind of attitudes and things that I see in Jimmy Butler. I'm like, you can't have this kind of guy around because he's only going to respect who he wants to respect. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to, like you say, he's not going to listen to the coach if he don't feel like he should listen to the coach. He's not going to run the play if he don't feel like he should run the play. And those are important things in your leader. You need your leader to know how to lead. You know what I'm saying? And that's not how you do it by saying, hey, coach, skip you. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to hear what you got to say. I ain't saying it. No. He ain't earned that.
I was going to say that. He's not the first NBA star. Yeah. Jimmy's a star.
He's a star.
Not to run a play the NBA coach called.
He ain't earned that right to say, Coach, shut up.
You know what I'm saying?
He's an all-star team, Dave.
But they're all-star team. We go down the list of people that have made all-star teams, and there'll be some real weird ones in there.
Yes, it will. Yes,
making an all-star team is, it's great, but the Bulls have missed the playoffs 2 consecutive years now. So, with him being the leader of the team, and I think that says a lot.
Yeah, it does. So there's a whole lot.
Maybe he needs to fall back a little bit and realize that there are things that he can get better at. And I'm sure he does understand that. But you're also, you're on the floor and you're doing these things like not listening to your coach and you showing up other players. And it's hard to respect that when we're still losing. Like, okay, you're doing all that and we're losing. So maybe you should take a different approach. It doesn't feel like Jimmy has a different approach. This is just what it is. He's going to beat his head against this wall the same way until it works. And it's like, okay, that works when you're like Kobe Bryant. Jimmy ain't Kobe.
Nowhere near it.
So he needs to take a different approach, and it doesn't feel like he wants to, or maybe that he actually can.
Well, he's so far last couple of years he's been the best player on the team. Until somebody's better than him on the team, I think this is what he's going to get. But he felt he got the point where he's better than Derrick Rose because Derrick Rose was hurt. He was the man. So.
Yeah. But he got it. I mean, because we can get so much for him now. I mean, you can in the offseason, that Nets pick is looking mighty tasty. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's looking succulent. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just go and put Jimmy on the platter. You know what I'm saying? Serve that up to them people in Boston. They want him.
They want him.
The kind of guy. And I guarantee you he falls in line. Because, there's a dude there who I guarantee you he respects his coaching. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that culture in general, you know what I'm saying, in Boston. I mean, we had that kind of culture here. You know what I'm saying? But things just went south on it. But yeah, man, I think, I say do it. Make that trade, bro.
Get him the hell up out of here as soon as possible. Yeah. He doesn't want to be in here, and that's fine. I don't necessarily need him to be here. That's
right.
Okay.
Well, what I heard was Boston and Bulls didn't want the picks. Bulls wanted players.
They wanted Crowder.
They didn't want picks. They wanted players.
The guy that just got 70 put up on him and then got clowned on Instagram. They want Jay Crowder.
Jimmy Butler's teammate. That was a teammate of Marquette.
Why do we get another one of those guys?
We're losing the Marquette guy. We got to get one back. We got to keep two. That's the D Wade quote.
As if anybody in the draft wasn't going to be better than Crowder. It's not hard to do. Crowder's a nice player, but I think
Can you average 10 points and 10 rebounds? You're better than Crowder.
Yeah, Coach. I think I can.
Can you flop horribly?
Right. Can you run him down the court and not get
winded? You allow Devin Booker to put 70 up on you.
Devin Booker.
You know what, Coach? I can let him put up 50 on me. Get in the game. You'll be all right. Oh, man, he put up 70 on him, man. You're right.
You see that how that real little Crowder doing fake flops?
No.
Oh, yeah.
I saw Marcus Smart. I've never seen
Crowder. Was it Smart? Yeah. I may have got it wrong. They was Smart.
Marcus Smart
was
smart too. Man, he was smart. Marcus Smart.
Oh, he didn't want none of that.
You get 70, he murdered me too.
Dude, he was taking dudes in the post, man. Like, that's the most impressive.
But the highlights, I watched the highlights, they weren't even like shooting layups. Like, what is going on?
And a bunch of wide open threes and running straight to the basket and posting people up. Yeah, it wasn't nothing spectacular. And a bunch of free throws, 26 free throws.
It's a lot of free throws.
Gotta hit them. Gotta make them.
I wanted to make this quick point before I move on.
Where?
I had something else. No, I had something else I want to talk about. I do have something else I want to talk about. But I want to say this to fans who I don't want y'all who give up on the Bulls. I get it. Trust me. Dre, I get it. You give up on the Bulls. The people I have a problem with are who are like, this is the worst season they've ever seen from the Chicago Bulls. That's who I got a problem with.
That's crazy.
If you think this is the worst season the Bulls have had, listen. Listen. I remember when Vince Carter came to the league. I remember when he came to the league, Chris. When Vince Carter came and he played the Bulls, do you know who the Bulls starting five was that game? Let me tell you, Randy Brown, Tony Kukoc when he had the gut, Dickie Simpkins.
Dickie started?
Simpkins, man.
Started. Brent Berry.
I remember when they got Brent Berry and everybody thought, yeah, Brent Berry.
He paid for the Bulls, didn't he? He forgot he paid for the Bulls.
Yep. And Bill Winnington.
Your starting lineup?
That's your starting five.
That starting five is getting blown out by this starting five this year.
Do you know
they are getting destroyed?
Bulls to destroy that starting five. Do you know who led them in scoring that game? Off the bench.
Off the bench.
Nope, off the bench with 15 points. LaRue.
Rusty?
Rusty LaRue. I had to sit through that. You can't tell me this is the worst season you ever seen when I had to sit through that kind of shit.
You have to sit through anybody who sat through the Bill Cartwright years, the Floyd years.
Till Floyd was the worst. I don't know what that was. Till Floyd years was the worst.
Even some of those Scott Scow years were pretty bad.
Anthony,
we used to have
watch
the Bulls.
Mercer. Yes, right. The Bulls were the reason I got drunk all the time. I was like, Bulls game on, time to drink 30 beers. This is going down.
I'm gonna drink as many beers as the Bulls are about to lose.
Right. That's why I don't remember a lot about none of those seasons. You know what I'm saying? Because dude, we had trash. Those are terrible teams. Those are teams that make you quit watching basketball. That stuff. That's because you're not happy.
I actually believe that the Bulls are going to be good this year. And
who thought that?
Those people who say this is the worst or the most disappointed or whatever they've been in the Chicago Bulls, they had to believe that this team was going to be good.
Then those people are the people who think the Bulls are going to be good every year.
Yep, exactly.
The every year. Oh no, they can make the playoffs this year. They can beat LeBron. Like, no.
No. Oh man, how many arguments we get into with Fred about the Bulls, how they were not going to beat LeBron no matter what?
It still holds on to it, man. Like, that's why you lost. Like you remember watch the Wizards, Dave? I must beat Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen
because they had all that young talent.
Yeah, but they almost beat them.
Incredible. Yes, they did.
What they do? They lost.
Swept.
They won every game, though, Dave.
Every game was close.
That's out of 5.
Yep, they were close.
Ooh.
Hey, how about those Atlanta Hawks when they stole one from the Bulls?
Right there, Dave.
And B.J. Armstrong is ready to go.
New York Knicks, everybody away.
Oh, right there.
Ooh.
New York was right there. They were right there.
Right there.
They took them to 7. They got them
and they lost.
You're right there,
though. The guys proclaimed they will lose to Michael Jordan in the Bulls because they are better.
That's really what it boils down to.
They took him as Charles Smith.
Yeah,
Charles Smith ain't slept in a long time.
Mike and Horace ended his career effectively.
That's true. He was never the same after that.
Never the same after that. All you had to do was hit a damn layup.
he used to have a jump shot. Remember? He used to beat the ball down court.
No, he used to be. I remember him with the Clippers. He used to be nice. He used to
run a fast break.
Yeah, man. I mean, when they got him, I was like, man, that's a good pickup, man.
Yeah,
you got a guy
pickup, man. They got him. Man.
Yep. Like that's a good pickup, man.
Giving Horace some problems.
Yep.
Nope.
Blocked by Jordan. Blocked again. Blocked again.
It was Scotty, then Grant, and then Jordan with the strip.
Yep.
All 3.
BJ with the layup. Let's go home.
Let's go home.
L's. So calm down, people. Okay, just calm down.
People thought Dwayne Wade and LeBron James couldn't play together.
Right. How they gonna have a ball? They're gonna need more than one ball.
I hate that saying. It's not enough basketballs to go around. Like,
I just cannot understand that. I had literally had a conversation with my cousin about this. About would it be cool if LeBron James and Wade played on the same team? And a year later, it happened, and I'm thinking like, well, this is the best thing ever. And I hear the opposite of the whole NBA community. I'm like, what are you talking about? Why is this a bad thing? It's bad for the Bulls,
right?
But this is dope for Miami,
right?
Man, I didn't get the logic behind that. Like, two great players can play together.
That still hurts me. That whole thing, because I really think if Derek doesn't tear his ACL that year, the Bulls would have beat them.
No. LeBron James shut down Derrick Rose, Dre.
No.
LeBron James.
You want to know why I think they beat him? I mean, it was different that year. Because for one, it was different that year. Like I look at it like this: they got taken to 7 games by a Boston team that was basically the Bulls without being a good basketball team.
Did they have LeBron James on the team?
No, that Boston Celtics team that took them to 7? No, of course not. They were playing.
No. Yeah, you're talking about the Boston team that took them.
The Boston team that took them to 7. The Bulls was that team on steroids that year.
No.
They weren't.
But they had Hall of Famers, though. on that Boston team.
But the Hall of Famers weren't the reason why I went to 7. You want to know who was the reason why I went to 7? Yo boy.
I know that. No, I was quiet because I was just waiting for you to say it.
Yo boy Rondo was the reason why that went to 7.
You didn't just see me lean, so you can't see me because I leaned in nice and close as soon as I was ready.
Yeah, he pretty much outplayed. Well, he outplayed. He matched Rose, didn't he? 30 in the game or something.
Oh, he triple doubled.
Yeah, he was killing them. They had absolutely no answer because that was that team's. Their weakness was the fact that their point guards are absolute trash.
Yeah,
he took advantage of that.
Yes,
I also think that as many people didn't see it because he didn't really play a lot, but having Rip was an important part of what they were doing that season. He didn't play a lot.
He didn't do nothing.
That's the whole point.
He didn't play a lot, but when he did play, I'm not even talking about what he did numbers wise. I'm talking about what he did for the offense as a team.
Right.
It opened up all kinds of other stuff because now you actually have to worry about somebody else hitting an actual jump shot. You don't have to worry about Ronnie Brewer. Like, okay, Ronnie Brewer is just going to run along the baseline. If we just stop him from running along the baseline, Ronnie Brewer isn't going to do anything. Okay, you got Keith Bogans in the corner over there. He may hit 1 or 2 threes, but we could really just leave him over there and not worry about him. Like, you couldn't do that with him. Even if he wasn't hitting a bunch of shots, him actually being there was more important than any of those other 2 guys being on the floor. So it opened up other things for in particular just for Derek. It really just mattered for Derek. And that's why their offense was so much better that year than it was in the year before.
It was better. And their record reflected it. They were great in the regular season. They were really good. Their problem was still this. They still had no other ball handler but Derrick Rose. When it was time for that fourth quarter, it was Derek's time. And LeBron James was going to be guarding Derrick Rose.
I don't think
he's not going to score.
The thing with LeBron in that first year was that Derek had to carry so much of the load with that first.
That's what it comes down to, though, man.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
He's going to have to carry the same load that he did the year prior as he did that year. Like even in the regular season, if you looked at the regular season, Derek was carrying the entire load, the entire regular season, and the MVP season. He was carrying the entire load. The next year, he didn't really. It wasn't the same. You look at his usage; it went down. Like everything went down that year because the offense was a little bit different, and he didn't have to carry that large of a load. Even though he was handling the ball as probably just as much, his usage went down. That means he's not as tired because he doesn't have to do everything. They were using players differently. And how many
years in a row LeBron James been in the finals?
I'm saying about 7.
Okay.
7 straight years. Listen, on that team, you had nobody who was going to stop LeBron, and they had nobody who was going to stop Chris Bosh. Chris Bosh was eating the Bulls alive.
That was the way
he was the main
eating them alive.
Wade was not a problem because Wade never plays good against the Bulls. He never played good against the
Bulls. Wade didn't. Wade didn't play good. I said Chris Bosh. They had no answer for Chris Bosh, and they absolutely have no answer for LeBron James.
I would have loved to have seen them play that series with the way that it was. No.
You're talking about when the injury is.
No, I got it.
I would have loved to have seen them play because after the way Boston played them, I'd have loved to have seen that Chicago Bulls team play that team.
It would have, could have, should have.
Honestly, they would still would have lost. In my opinion, they still would have lost. It would have been 6 or 7, but they still would have took that L, man. They got lost in 5 in the one before. They won 1 game and then lost the last 4. You don't go from that to beating that team after they go to the finals, and then they're on a mission.
Yeah, that's the thing. I thought they were on a mission and damn near lost to that Boston team, man.
But they didn't.
Yeah, I mean, because that Boston team wasn't good. Like that wasn't a good team. Nah, that team wasn't good. What were they? They were their 5th seed or something like that. They weren't a good team.
Was that a 40-point game or something?
Huh?
Say it again.
Him and Pierce was having a 40-point game.
Because Paul Pierce is really awesome, man.
Right? And then right.
Yeah, Paul Pierce.
Rondo was
just out of his mind.
He's out of control.
Out of his mind. They tried the LeBron or Rondo thing, and that shit didn't work.
But LeBron got them. He got them cyborg shoulders, so you can't run up on him like that. You just can't. LeBron couldn't even D him up that way. You can do that. He could do that with Derrick Rose, man. He could do that with D Rose.
You can do that with D Rose in the 4th quarter after he's been destroying your team for the first 3 quarters. or 3/4 and however many minutes he's been putting Chalmers on his ass and whoever else. Like, you could do that. Like, okay, yeah, I think that, like, I've always thought that has been a little bit overblown.
What's that?
Like, okay, LeBron is gonna come in and he's gonna shut Derrick Rose down. Well,
Okay.
It's easy to do that when he's been playing for 38 minutes, and now you come in for like the last 4 minutes of the time he's on the court.
Yeah, that's the whole point. That's the whole point.
Yeah, like, yeah, but it's like
guard
like,
to guard, the best player,
but
and
he
he
also tried to guard him throughout the game, and Derrick was doing the same thing that Derrick does. That's why LeBron has that picture or that video, LeBron going back to the bench, and he's smacking the bench because Derrick just hit a layup over him and D Wade, and he's been doing it like the entire game. Like, yeah,
until when? Until the money time.
Yeah,
until it counts.
Until the third best player in NBA history guarded you and wanted to guard you.
They said, "Yo, let's do
this." You giving him 3? You giving him 3?
Yeah, he's on his way to 2 for me, man. I mean,
7 times to the finals.
7 times to the. I can't.
Did you not watch last?
Hey, I know how many times he's gone, but I mean, if we're giving it that because of that, then why isn't Jerry West there? Where did he go? 22 times? Oh, they dropped out. Oh, holy crap! I'm just gonna keep this going, and they could probably edit this together. Looks like they dropped out of. So I'm gonna send them another invite. Make sure we keep this going. I was enjoying that conversation. You have to put a countdown when they come back in. They know where to splice these two, or actually just cut that down. Can you guys hear me? Okay. I'll wait a little bit.
The invite.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right.
Okay.
No, it's cool because we. Hold on. We don't. Hold on.
Like pretty slow. It's like doing something. It's like, hey,
his computer. You straight?
No, it's
well, I didn't stop anything. So.
Okay, so it's recording. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, bro.
What I was saying is, so why don't we have Jerry West up there? Because he went like 30 times to the finals. even though he lost a lot. He won like $1 million.
How many did he win?
He won. Wait, he won one.
Yeah, okay.
But he went 30 times.
Yeah, but LeBron has what, 3 rings? Four?
I don't know.
3.
He won 2 with them. He won 1 with Cleveland. He got
3.
3. He single-handedly beat the Golden State Warriors.
No, he didn't. We're not going to count that fallacy. No. Kyrie Irving was cooking that entire series.
Yeah.
But no, everybody's going to remember the block. That's the problem.
I remember the 3.
The block.
The ridiculous.
Of course, because you're a basketball fan.
Step back 3.
Yeah, it was an amazing shot.
That was his moment, though.
Yeah,
but no, we actually talked about this on one of the pods. I don't have him in my top 5, but my top 5.
Whoa, what?
My top 5 doesn't change. It's never going to change.
What's your top 5, sir? Well, Jordan's one.
Okay, so you have a staple of people.
Yeah, Michael, Magic,
we just know
Bird, Kareem, Wilt. That's my top 5.
That's why he's better than Bird.
Don't see it ever.
He's not better than Bird.
No, I'm sorry.
I'm saying LeBron James not better than Bird.
Wilt, not Wilt. I meant Bill.
Are you saying LeBron James not better than Bird?
I don't know. It's difficult for me to say.
He is a better player than Larry Bird.
It is hard to say.
It's difficult for me to say that because Bird, if you look at his, the dude put up like 25 and 10 for like, what was it, 5, 6, 7 straight years? This is 25 and 10, 25 and 10, 25 and 10, 25 and 10.
I'm not messing with Bird. Bird was cool.
Like those numbers, his numbers are like so astronomical that it's hard for me to say that anybody was better than him. Can I say he's as good as Larry Bird? Yeah, I can say that.
I think I'm swearing around. He is a better ball player than Larry Bird. I have no problem saying that. I would say it for you right now. LeBron James is a better basketball player than Larry Bird. Larry Bird was an awesome player. Nice, very quick vision, 6'9", taller you thought was, gave Dominique Wilkins the business.
Gave everybody the
Dominique Wilkins gave back to him. Dominique Wilkins gave back to him a little bit.
He gave everybody the business, and he wasn't nowhere near as athletic or fast or strong or any of those things than the people he was playing against, and he just gave their ass the business.
He's not. He's not doing. He's not doing though. He's not guarding Derrick Rose in the fourth quarter.
I don't think he's required to do those things, but I know I did see him guard Magic. I saw him guarding Magic a few times.
He shot it out Magic.
He held his own, and I appreciate him winning the same way that I appreciate Zeke. I appreciate him winning in a time when other great players were, it's hard to win. Like I said in one of our podcasts, I really, really appreciate Zeke for winning 2 championships in between Magic, Mike, and Larry. Like I think that's underrated. I think I give a lot of credit to Magic and Bird for winning championships against each other because nobody else was.
Because Isaiah beat all the people you named. You know what I'm saying? Magic, Mike, and Larry.
And believe me, Isaiah right now would love the fact that you said that because he says that all the time.
Oh, yeah, right.
I beat the Bird, Michael Jordan. I beat all them great people y'all talk about. We beat them twice.
You got to remember, Chris is not going to be kind to Isaiah.
No, I like Isaiah Thomas.
On Scottie Pippen.
I like Isaiah Thomas as a player. Well, this guy, whatever, dude. I like Isaiah Thomas. When I was younger, I wanted to play like him.
Isaiah's in my top 5. Who's your top 5 point guards?
Oh, boy.
Top 5 point guards. In no particular order, Zeke, Jason Kidd, Steve Nash. Yeah, I think Steve Nash gets a raw deal now too. John Stockton, Matt Johnson.
Okay.
The only reason I'm down with Steve Nash because he had 2 good years. That was it.
2 incredible.
They were incredible years. Don't get me wrong, but
you don't deserve 2 MVPs, bro. I'm sorry.
When he got on, he led the best offenses in the league for 5, 6 straight years or whatever it was.
You know the finals he made, Dave? One of the times in the finals? Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Okay.
You can't.
But you know what? That was some straight up bullshit.
Because San Antonio? Oh, come on, man.
San Antonio thing was trash, man.
Ori accidentally hit him in the side. It was accidentally at all to this man. Ori's a nice guy.
That was the most Robert Horry moment of all time.
How dare you mispick Robert Horry?
Like shit, we are about to lose this series.
Or he did what he had to do, damn it.
He did. I'm not mad at him, but I'm just saying that was the most Robert Ory moment of all time.
Yeah.
But Nash was so good in that series that he was averaging 40 points, and San Antonio was like, all right, they only averaged 40, and we're just going to guard anybody else.
Right.
That's how good he was. But still, Nash was
I just always have a problem with him having back-to-back MVPs.
Yeah, because people that have back-to-back
because the people who have back-to-back, all of them have rings. All of them either have rings or have sniffed finals. You know what I'm saying?
If the NBA didn't cheat them,
I blame Kobe Bryant for that though. Kobe Bryant was supposed to
Kobe got to do
because he didn't play well enough. He let Steve Nash beat him.
He was balling that
dude.
Year,
he shot 40% for the field,
Kobe
whatever.
Dude, hold on. Don't
percentage from the field.
Don't blame Kobe for playing with Smush Parker.
Right,
but he's supposed to. He couldn't have beat out Steve Nash.
You know why Kobe didn't get the MVP?
No, but that was listen.
He know why he didn't.
I don't care.
Can we
give it to him, Chris?
Okay. What were you gonna say? Why not?
You know why? Come on, man, Colorado, brother. They can't give him the MVP. Colorado.
It was pretty soon. What was it like?
That was soon. That's a headline.
I just think with Steve Nash line is like what 50% for the field, 50% 3-pointers, 10 assists, and 25 points, and Kobe's like what 28, 5.
Like Kobe's averaging like 35.
Yeah.
Oh, 35. Yeah, 32, 34.
I think that was the 35. 40, like 34.7.
What she done once, but 44% for the field. It's just numbers were down, turnovers are up. It wasn't like
he could have averaged 40.
It wasn't like
giving him no finals. They weren't giving him no MVP, Chris. I
watched it. I didn't think he had an MVP. I literally thought like Steve Nash played every game better than it's like he did it. That's what was the record did that team win 50 games? That Laker team.
Yeah. No. Weren't they the 8th? Weren't they the 8th seed?
Okay, right. So I can't give an MVP award. You can't even win 50 games.
Look, he had Smush Parker. He's not
12 a game.
Throwing the ball to Smush Parker, Chris Mihm, and who else was on that team? I can't even remember. It was a veritable poo-poo platter of basketball players. That's what that was. It was just an awful assemblage of players. Kwame Brown.
They had Vern Troyer. They had
Vern Troyer. They may as well have had Vern. They may as well. Everybody on that team was bad except for him and Lamar Odom.
Yeah, that was it.
I ain't like Odom either.
It was a chosen team, man.
Wait. You didn't like Lamar Odom? I
liked him a lot early in his career. And then he became,
but he got better later in his career.
Well, no, I like better. Well,
come on, Chris.
You don't like LO? How you?
No, I don't. I don't like LO. Look, I don't hate on LO. I think I'm more disappointed in the fact that I thought he was gonna be better when he came out. Was it Rhode Island? He came out of college.
Something like that. Yeah.
I thought when I watched him play before he got to the NBA, I thought this was gonna be really, really cold. And he was. I never thought he hit that potential. Then he's crying on the set. I know he had personal issues. Life is hard.
Mental issues, man.
I learned all that stuff. When he won the 6th Man of the Year, like that little 3-year period, that was the pinnacle. To be completely honest with you, if you drop Lamar Odom into the NBA right now, he'd be a goddamn superstar. I think he was before.
I don't know about that.
His skill set was before. Like this is all you want is a big dude who can shoot threes and can handle the ball. Yeah, his skill set was before his time. I mean, he hit enough threes to
put somebody on him. Yeah.
Oh, very true. Very true.
Make sure that you had to guard him.
Yeah.
But he was before his time.
I wouldn't say that. We say that a lot.
There was a lot of guys that were like that time period was still lumbering giant.
Very, very true. It was, you had some power for that shot for you, but you're right. And I thought he'd be better than he was. That's why I kind of like my expectations for him was a little higher. That's all. And so when I saw him, I was like, why aren't you better than that? I thought because he had some years where he just didn't do much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Clipper years.
Those Clipper years. Yeah.
If you want to know when he finally caught on was that the years that he was in Miami. That's when he figured it out, and then he ended up getting traded to LA. Traded to LA, comes over there with Phil, and the rest is history. He's won championships, and that was the bigger problem.
Yeah, that is the issue. I wanted to close out with this. Of course, Jerry Krause just passed away. integral part, of the Chicago Bulls and their success in the 6 championships. I actually wanted to know you guys' favorite Jerry Krause memory, if you have one. If you have a memory of Jerry Krause. I don't care if it's good. I don't care if it's bad. Because I have quite a few bad memories of Jerry Krause. I don't mind Jerry Krause getting the love he's getting. I have an issue with the forgetfulness and the overlove. You know what I'm saying? People are forgetting a lot of the trash that this dude brought up in here, man.
What he did, Drake.
Trash.
I have memories of him saying, was he the one that kept emphasizing the organization won the championship?
Yes,
that was him.
He was the one.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember him making a smart comment during the game about that fact too as well a couple of times, and the comments he made about it's his time to prove himself. I don't know when he brought in Curry and Chandler and all the there were a lot of good. There was some bad. But also, I don't know. I hear like people tell stories about how sweet he was off the court and how the players, how he's the punching bag for the players.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's by choice or did they force him to be by choice?
I don't think he had a choice.
Okay, because the way they make it sound like, he chose to be. I was over all that. Let me be the punching bag of the team.
Nah, he didn't have a choice. Michael was clowning.
Right. So to the public, to my eye, there was I don't know if it was right or wrong or not, but I got off more of a talented GM, obviously, won some championships. But also there was the arrogance there.
Yeah.
About him.
Definitely that.
That I'm better, I'm more important than the players.
Yeah.
And that came across to me.
Yeah, that came across. Jerry Krause memories or statements you got to me?
When he passed away, I posted this something on Twitter, and I said, I think with Jerry Krause, he gave himself too much credit for those championships, and I think people don't give him enough. Because he wasn't, he did make some bad moves, but he did make some good moves. I mean, he traded Olden Polynice for Scottie Pippen.
Yeah.
He drafted Horace Grant. He drafted B.J. Armstrong. He brought in, I think he was the one who brought in Bill Cartwright.
He was,
John Paxson.
He gets you John Paxson. He brings in Dennis Rodman. He did a lot. Brian Williams, Bryson.
He did. Yes, he did. Yes, he sure did.
Bryson Day. He gave you Brian Williams. So he did some really good things for the Chicago Bulls. It's just like you said, he had a huge ego. My favorite moment of his, I don't think I have a favorite moment for him, but I think of all the things that he did do, my favorite thing was obviously, to getting to Scottie Pippen. That's number one. But getting Dennis Rodman, that was my favorite moment of his tenure. And I think the most important thing or the best thing about Jerry Krause is when you stack him up against what we have now, it makes him look even more brilliant because these guys are so goddamn incompetent. And he was out there making moves that come on, Brian Williams. Tony Kukoc, he had I bet you that Garpax was probably talking to each other like, man, this Nico is going to be our Tony Kukoc. And it didn't turn out that way by any stretch of the imagination.
No.
But he had an eye for talent. He made some bad moves. What'd you say?
I'm sorry. You also love Jack Tarlick.
Yeah,
he's a big fan of him. You couldn't shut up about him.
Yeah, you could not shut up about friggin' Dragon. Yeah, he was awful. But there were more hits than misses. I mean, Scottie Pippen alone is enough to account for a whole bunch of people. Could you imagine if they don't trade Scottie Pippen for friggin' Olden Polynice? Like, what happens at that point? Does Michael even stay? Like, drop friggin' Olden Polynice? Get the hell out of here. No, so no disrespect to Holden, but he was no Scottie Pippen. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I mean, he did a lot of good, and I think he gets shit on unnecessarily. I think a lot of people just took the role from Mike and rolled with it. Mike clowned him, so I'm gonna clown him too. But my team would not have 6 championships if it wasn't for a lot of the things that he did. So
very true.
I appreciate him.
Definitely. Yeah. I'll say this. I echo your sentiment of him giving himself too much credit and not getting enough credit. I totally agree with that. But I really have a problem with revisionist history, and it's been a lot of that going on since he's passed. One thing I actually read, which bothered me, was I was reading in the Washington Post, and it said that Jerry Krause drafted Earl the Pearl Monroe and Wes Unseld.
What?
Do you hear what I just said? I said it said
in the Washington Post.
The Washington Post said he drafted Earl the Pearl Monroe and Wes Unseld. Now, let me tell you why all that's false. Because one, he wasn't even the GM. Okay, he was a scout for Washington at that time.
Yeah,
he was a scout. So they say, well, he was one of the guys who helped discover Earl Monroe. Nobody discovered Earl Monroe. Everybody already knew Black Jesus. They already knew what this dude was. He didn't discover. And they give him credit for Jerry Sloan too. For me, that's all revisionist history. If you didn't never hear, have any of y'all heard this before? You even know that he had a tie to this? Any of you?
I heard Earl Pearl like in on Comcast Sports. They brought him up, saying like they say he drafted him. I think.
Dre, did you ever hear this before?
No,
exactly. My point is, Chris, if you are the dude who drafts Earl the Pearl Monroe or has something to do with him being drafted, that is something that you will be in your mind forever. I would have never forgotten that about Jerry Krause. Nobody talks about that.
I don't think Jerry Krause talked about that.
Dude, you know who drafted Michael Jordan. You know it's Rob Thorne. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You know who got the greats
too, apparently. Shit.
Talking about the drafted black. So you're telling me the dude who brought in Chuck Nevitt and Dragon Tarlick and Ricky Blanton and Brad Sellers and all this trash telling me that he has something to do with Earl the Pearl Monroe? He saw that but didn't see this? That is bull of V shit. Period. I don't believe it. Listen to these. I was looking at Bulls rosters, man. Because this is crap. This is why I don't believe it. Looking at Bulls around 92, 93. And this is a credit to Jordan. And I'm not taking away from Krause, what he did with this team. But this is the roster, is all I'm saying. You got Ricky Blanton, Joe Courtney, JoJo English, Stacey King. You remember Rodney McCray? Come on. Trent Tucker.
Trent Tucker had 0.2 seconds.
Come on. This is your championship team.
0.2 seconds.
Trent Tucker was a shooter, boy.
Trent Tucker had a couple of nice years.
Oh, stop.
He put the 0.2 second rule in effect.
0.1. Trent had a flamethrower, boy. What you talking about?
Man. Get off. And then he got Michael Dickinson. And then you got Michael Dickinson.
Who?
Michael Dickinson. Was he on the Bulls?
Michael Dickinson?
Yeah.
I
trade for him or something? Wow.
I don't recall. I mean, but you got the 91-92 team where you got Bobby Hansen and 75.
You ain't gonna sit here and you ain't gonna sit here and talk about. You ain't gonna sit here and talk about the 92 Bulls bench because when Michael Ash was on the bench, it was Scotty and 4 bench players that brought them back. You ain't gonna sit here and talk about them 92.
Oh yes, I am. I'm gonna sit right here and talk about it. I'm gonna sit right here and
Bobby
say this
Hansen
about them.
was key. He was integral.
Yes,
those 2 shots he
hit that 3. Stacy with the post up on Buck Williams.
Stacy with the accidental post up and officially did.
Yes.
That
Cliff Livingston with the integral. Scott Williams. Come on, man. These dudes was trash. Mark Randall. Listen, Dre, when we would hold the tournament of trash, do you realize both the people who won the tournament of trash were both Jerry Krause people? Do you understand that? The worst draft pick was Mark Randall.
Pippen.
Worst free agent was Eddie Robinson.
It's really hit and miss.
It's trash. But I'm saying it's hit and miss when it's trash. I'm saying trash, bro. Complete and total
Ron
Artest.
Ron Artest. He had the Brad Miller.
He traded the ball.
Jamal Crawford. He drafted Jamal Crawford. You know, but then he was also had that Petty. Because you remember when he got Eddie Curry and Tyson Chandler. And what'd he do? What numbers he get him 2s? Eddie Curry gets 2, Tyson Chandler gets 3. What you think he was trying to say right then and there? You know he was trying to say 23. You know it.
But, I understand that. I understand.
Petty.
He was petty. But you have to understand, he listened to Michael Jordan call him a fat ass for the better part of 12 years. I would be petty too. Like,
fair. That's fair.
You know how many times he called Mike a black mother? I'm sick of him. I'm sick of you, Ice.
That's why Steve Kerr fought him. Steve and Will Vanderbilt. The rest of I get that. It's hard.
He brought in Phil Jackson.
It's hard. Yes. He said, Phil, get rid of Doug. Phil, you move in and you take. And then he kicked him out of here. He got rid of Brady and Belichick.
Hold on.
Come on, man.
Hold on now.
Brady and Belichick?
Now, that is serious revisionist history right there. Because, okay, let me ask you this. Let's say you guys hired someone. And his main, like, he started talking about how he was going to replace you. What would you do? Phil Jackson was openly talking about how he wanted that man's job. I would have fired him too. You have to go. You got to go. You're not going to think
Reinsdorf. You can talk about it all you want. Jerry Reinsdorf was not going to put Phil Jackson in there. Jerry Reinsdorf, as you can see, Jerry Reinsdorf is a loyal to a fault.
Yeah.
He will fall on the sword
around me that's gunning for my job. Go.
And for winning championships, you stay. You stay around me all you want to.
No, he had to go. Plus, I don't think they wanted to stay. This is the thing with Phil Jackson. I don't think he wanted to stay anymore. But the best thing wanted to stay. But the best thing for Phil to do is to make it seem like it's all Jerry Krause's fault. Like, one of the things that I've always noticed about that time period is that, at least while it was happening, is that everybody placed the blame on Jerry Krause. But it wasn't just Jerry Krause. Mike had his role in it. Scotty had his role in it, and so did Phil. And one of the things that I've always noticed is that Krause gets shit upon for some odd reason, but he didn't have to do what he did for Scotty.
He didn't have
to do that. He got Scotty more money than Scotty ever had in his entire career. And he did not have to do that. He could have just let him go out. He could have just let him. He could have said, "Okay, go out in free agency," because Scotty didn't want to be here anymore. He didn't want to be here.
He didn't want to be here because he wasn't getting paid.
Yeah, but they could have paid him, but Scotty did not want to be here. So why would I give him a contract?
Want to be here? It's because they weren't paying him. Scotty would have stayed.
It wasn't that they weren't paying him. Jerry Krause literally told him, "Don't sign this contract." Yeah. Scotty signed the contract because his back was all messed up. He did that to himself. You don't get to sign a contract for 7 years and then come back 3 years into it and say, "I'm getting paid less money than I should." Well, you should have thought about that when you signed the bad contract.
I guess he was thinking, "Oh, you know what? I'm going to give you some benefit of the doubt here because you're my guy. You're Scottie Pippen. You drafted me. You brought me in here. You know why? You know I signed this under duress. You know I was worried about my life and my career."
Yeah. We all know Scotty ain't the smartest. That's why he had fleets of planes and car dealerships all over Chicago, and that's why he was crying in the court because he won $1 million. It's like that's not Jerry Krause's fault. And
that's true.
We've talked about this. I am as big a Scottie Pippen fan as you could possibly get. But Jerry Krause did right by him. First, by telling him not to sign that contract. That was the first thing he did, because what other general manager would say, "Yeah, don't sign this terrible contract"? Nobody else was going to do that. And then by sending him to Houston when he did not have to do it, he would have gotten significantly less money if Jerry Krause did not send him over to Houston. And they got what in return for it? Not a goddamn thing. He just did it because he was trying to be nice. That's all.
Because he paid him back for all. Pay us like you owe us for all the years that you owed us.
He's the one that told Michael on the bus, "Hey, calm down, Jerry Krause, man." So Jerry Krause was back on the bus,
and that's why he wanted his money. That's why he was shocked he wasn't getting it.
Hey, I heard Scotty was in there too. Ask Sam Smith about those bus rides when Scotty was calling him a fat ass too. Scotty was doing it too.
That was later on when he wasn't getting his money.
What money? He had signed the contract.
He didn't care about him then. He was like, "You ain't giving me my contract."
I'm the biggest player guy. Like, I'm all about the players. But I also believe that if you sign a contract, you honor your contract. Unless you can find some way out of it. And he couldn't find a way out of it. So you gotta roll with the contract that you had. Shit. Mike was getting what, $1 million a season?
Right, very true.
Like those last couple seasons, and then he got $30 million because he's Michael Jordan. They paid him.
Because he made them.
Organization always pays their guys. That is one of the things that always pisses me off about how the Bulls don't take care of their guys. Stacey King does the play-by-play. Bill Cartwright was a coach. B.J. Armstrong was in the front office. Randy Brown was in the front office. Pete Myers, Purdue is doing.
Scottie Pippen be ambassador.
Horace Grant is an ambassador. Horace Grant is back. Tony Kukoc is also an ambassador. The Bulls take care of their guys, and it's always started with Jerry Krause. Was he an egotistical asshole? Of course he was. But goddamn it, who wasn't on that team? I would say the person with the biggest ego of anybody on that team was Phil Jackson. And nobody ever says anything about him
because he won. So you let Phil alone because he he had the back of Jordan. Jordan at your back, you got the cloak of Jordan around you. I'm gonna be cocky too.
I'm not mad at him, but I call a spade a spade. He was gunning for that man's job, and he
wasn't gonna get his job.
But you don't want nobody sitting around just talking, like constantly undermining you to the players, to the rest of the organization, talking about what he's going to do when he has your job. Like, what? Wait a minute, I'm your boss. How the hell you gonna? Okay, you know what? Yeah, this shit's over. he hit his ditty. You know what? I'm shutting the studio down.
I'm shutting down the studio. This is what Jerry Krause does to Bulls fans, ladies and gentlemen. A polarizing figure.
I'm with you, though.
That in the end, we all respect. You know what I'm saying? Because we all respect Jerry Krause. I'm pretty sure I can say that. We all have respect for him for what he did for the team. He did a lot for this basketball organization. He did a lot. Yeah, that was one of the best.
He was huge, man, Houston. I don't know if we could win.
Oh, we wouldn't have won without him. There was no way we would win without Brian Williams. No way we were going to win without Brian Williams.
Nope. Because they had nobody that could go up against that front line. Nobody. Not even Rodman. Not even Rodman. They had too many big bodies in their front line.
Yep, they had Antoine Carr
come in and drop the 8 points on you in no time with a hand a shot.
Couldn't stop that left hand.
And you wipe the sweat out. You had to sweat off your hair. Woo! Brian Williams scored.
Right.
He already hit it. He just hit the floor. He already scoring. He got 3 rebounds. He's on the floor. He's getting into it with somebody. He's firing the team up.
Right.
You know, they needed that.
You're watching Mike rest on the court. You're watching it. Mike just come up and pass the ball immediately and go to the corner or something. Like, all right, we got it. Brian got it. Fine, Brian.
That was the first time in a while they had somebody that they could throw the ball down to in the post that wasn't Michael or Scotty, and just be like, okay, get a bucket. And he'd just be like, oh, in my sleep. Before you tell him to get a bucket, he already has a bucket. You know, you didn't have to worry about
I need you to go in and
get a adjustment, right?
You know what I'm saying? Oh man, we're being joined by Dre, our guy from ETMF podcast, also according to sources. You want to say something, Dre?
No, I'm saying I'm with you. It was definitely a lot of revisionist history about Jerry Krause, both ways. I think it's hard to get a good bead on what he was because of Michael. Michael hated him, so it's hard to be like, okay, but what's real and what's not. Mike is a notorious asshole too, so we don't know if what happened. It was a whole bunch of stuff where Michael wanted this player and wanted that player, and he was mad at Jerry because he didn't get this guy, and that guy ended up being trash. But Michael was still mad about it because he just wanted his friends on the team. You just don't know what was real and what wasn't back then. But yeah,
very true.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Jerry Krause. Thank you for what you did for the team and the organization, sir. But stop with the revisionism. Just cut it out. Dre, man, let the people know where they can find you, man. Check your show out on Twitter, all that good stuff.
I am actually on 3 podcasts. I am on the According to Sources podcast, which is my podcast where we, I don't know what that podcast is about, to be honest with you. It's supposed to be about sports, but it's mutating into a bunch of different things, politics, Twitter models, and Instagram chicks. So it's a whole bunch of different things. We try to mash it together. Go check out the According to Sources podcast. I'm on the ETMF podcast. That's like a pop culture podcast where we talk about music, video games, movies, comic books. We do that. I'm on that. And I'm also on another podcast. It's called the Games We Don't Play podcast. And that is a podcast that's solely dedicated towards video games. It's, we're all 3 fathers, and we talk about how we don't have enough time to play all the games that we purchase and spend a lot of money on. So, you can find me on any of those podcasts. I don't really write anymore these days, but if you want to check out Christian, his writing, and Devin's writing, it's according to sources.com. That's about it, man. That's where you can find me.
Hey, Christian is one of my favorite people to follow on Twitter.
He is hilarious.
That dude is hilarious, man. Yo, this dude is funny.
He changes his damn @name so often. I give it to you guys, but I don't know what it is.
Why change his name?
Dude, I don't remember. I think it was this week when he was putting up pictures of himself and other people that he might have looked like.
Oh,
and it was like picture of the game and him, or picture of Ice Cube and him, and then just let people roast him. Oh my god!
Somebody called that man Crushed Ice, and I did die.
I forgot to get mine in because when I saw the Cube one, I was gonna call him Crochet Jackson. But dude,
he's a young kid. He's a young cat. He's 20 years old, man. So you know them young cats. They be changing their Twitter names all the time, man. I don't know why, but they
joined the game and him. Somebody called him the scrimmage.
I'm trying to find him, man. I cannot. Like, this is ridiculous. He writes.
I fell out, man.
Find him.
Yeah, he is an absolute great follow on Twitter, ladies and gentlemen. You should definitely follow him, man. Follow our guy Dre, and follow us at BAWL Sports, BAWL Sports. Check out our show on ballsports.com, Stitcher.com, iTunes, where you can subscribe to us for free. TuneIn Media, that's on your mobile devices and everything like that, and Google Play, where we have just been since Google Play existed. We've been up in there, man. So check us out on that, Chris.
Yes. Also, you could go to our website if you want to donate to our shows. You know, if you find value in what we do, if you like what you heard now today, if you like our guest, you know, hey, send us a buck or two. Say, hey, we love you guys. We want to support you guys. Go to ballsports.com, BAWLsports.com. Hit the blue donate button, and 5 cents. Well, you can do 5 cents. $1, a buck or two, will be great. And if you can't afford that, we understand. There's no tough times.
Trump times. We'll call them tough times. Call them Trump times.
Trump times.
T square. Double T.
And then we just get somebody donated to us.
Yes, I don't have the name on that. My phone real quick.
Okay.
It was a long time follow up we had. I donated, so I go to my phone.
But it's all right, man.
My phone won't start for some reason. I think the battery ran out.
But yes, we appreciate this donation.
It was working like 2 seconds ago, and I got it now. So I was like that. But so if you can't donate, you know, please spread the word. You know, go on Twitter, email, tell your friends about the show. But for those who have supported us so far, we appreciate it.
Yeah,
we appreciate the love, appreciate the donations, and man, we'll keep doing it. And don't worry about it. We are your podcasters' favorite Bull podcast. We won't disappear on you guys because the Bulls are having a bad season. We will continue to do podcasts because we like to watch the Bulls, even though they're having a bad season. We won't disappear from the podcast feed.
Frank, we right here. We not going anywhere.
And I was doing air quotes on podcasts, but you can't see my air quotes.
Yo, thank y'all for checking us out, man. We appreciate y'all, man. We got more coming for you. Thank y'all for hanging out. On behalf of our guy Dre, that's Chris. I'm Big Dave. Peace and blessings, y'all. Have a blessed week. Peace.